Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving School.
Hello and welcome to When the Town, and here's what's coming up today. Luton head to Stoke, and unfortunately another terrible away performance. 3-0, no fight whatsoever. Today we discussed that game. I know a couple of weeks ago we said we were in a relegation fight. I don't think we are. I don't know, maybe just a tiny bit looking over our shoulders again. We need them results coming back. We take a look at our back four. Why was Saturday so poor defensively? Cardiff weren't so great either. We need to sort this out going forward. Today we discussed that. And we also answer your Instagram questions, your Twitter fleets. And today I'm joined by Dave, and Bataro is back with us as well on Zoom. How are you both?
Very well.
Lads.
How you doing?
Good, thank you very much.
Are you both a little excited over Boris's announcement today about just life potentially being back to normal by June?
Well, a little bit excited, but we're not talking football excited because we can't go. But
season over, wasn't it?
yeah, just want to get back to some normality, don't we? Really?
Yeah, exactly that. And the thing is, you got to see it to believe it as well. You can hear this sort of stuff, but you know, it's never confirmed, is it? So.
But imagine the first game of next season, home at Kenilworth Road in the Championship against, say, like Newcastle, who've come down, full house, in the summer, beer gardens open. Imagine how good that's going to be.
Batara and me will be smashed.
Oh yeah. Like I told you earlier, Dave, I'm gonna put £10 aside every single last 5 days of the month and save up for next season, and that's gonna be my away day pot.
Yeah, that's going to be it.
We are going to get smashed every away game, I think.
Oh yes.
Should be fun.
Well, we definitely would have been smashed if we went to Stoke at the weekend. You would need to have been smashed if you were at Stoke at the weekend, because it wasn't the best of performances, was it, this season? Let's start with some 3-word reviews of Stoke 3, Luton 0. Ronnie says, "What was that?" Chris says, "Ray needs rest." Neville says, "Gutless, toothless, pointless." Mark says, "Same old story." Richard, "Absolutely no fight." Cam says, "Jones, tactically inept." Ben, "We've played worse." Stephen says, "In free fall." And Phil says, "Must beat Millwall."
Well, I think we all agree. What was that? Performance was awful, wasn't it? Gutless, toothless, pointless. Neville, can't disagree with that.
I wouldn't say we're in free fall though, are we? Because like that Cardiff performance first half weren't bad.
I think because we have not got points recently, that's making it worse, isn't it? And the fact that we are lucky that there are 3 teams in the division performing not real well. You know, if Sheffield Wednesday had won at the weekend, it might have been looking so much more different down the bottom there. So yeah, gutless. Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
And the tactics as well, tactically inept. I mean, we used to hear that all the time, didn't we, about Graham Jones? But fuck me, that was shocking, mate. Honestly, like I said to you on Saturday, Luke, I said, if that was Graham Jones, that would mean, you know what I mean, he'd be pasted for that. Absolutely slaughtered. So I know you said, obviously, you got to look at Twitter for that, but I feel like because it's Nathan Jones, he'll get away with certain things, but you know what, there's no covering that on Saturday. That was absolutely pathetic, disgraceful, disgusting. There you go, that's my 3-word review today. It
just wasn't great, was it? And we didn't really, I'm trying to think, before their goal, there wasn't any kind of like moments.
We offered nothing.
Attacking, was it?
No, we offered absolutely zero. Absolutely zero. Yeah, and it was from the minute one, we were up against it.
Yeah, it just felt like all the Luton players are sitting there just bending over and just waiting to get it. It was just disgusting. Honestly, it was awful. It was like, how long can you, you know what I mean? You can bend it over like, and he's missing you. How long? But no, you can't. It's disgusting. It was not acceptable.
Let's not just forget, Stephen said we're in free fall, but if we get a win against Millwall, then it sort of stops that free fall, doesn't it? And we push on again. We just need to get a result. We need to start scoring goals.
I wouldn't say we're in free fall though, are we? We're not in free fall. Like we've had a couple of poor performances. Well, as I said, the Cardiff performance wasn't even that bad. I know it didn't look like scoring, But like, if you just defend a bit better against Cardiff and Stoke, you're probably coming away with 2-0 nils.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, Davey.
I was just going to say, there's a phrase we use quite a lot. We don't look like scoring. Well, we haven't looked like scoring for a while, and that's the disappointment with it. We just need to get some points on the board, and then everybody's attitude changes. We're not going to be relegation fodder, but like I said the other week, look what happened to Charlton. They had a massively good start, and they dropped down. They got relegated. We don't want to be in that position, so we just got to get a couple of points under our belt.
Can I just say one thing as well? Obviously, the Cardiff game, going back to that, I believe we lost 2 defenders in that game, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I can sort of, have, half sort of sympathy for the management team or whoever, because, it does upset your tactics, but I can look past that. But then, you go and set up a team, like you say, on Saturday, and then that happens. You can't accept that. So it's a bit, for me, it was a bit, you look at things happen, shit happens. But Saturday, shit definitely happened, and shit kept happening. And it was the same story, the whole 90 minutes, from minute 1 to minute 90. It was terrible. And like you say, I'm not going to keep going about it because, I'm still annoyed about it, obviously.
Rightly so. You should be annoyed about it, It wasn't a great performance. The manager himself said that. It wasn't a great performance.
Don't you feel at the moment with games like this, you just kind of lose confidence? Like, you go 1-0 down and you think, well, that's that. You have no confidence. When you're playing like that and you go 1-0 down and you just think, well, that's that. We're not getting anything out of this.
It's almost like we set up to get a point, wasn't it? And as soon as we conceded that early goal, or first goal, should I say, there was nothing to it anymore. You just thought, well, how many is it going to be now?
Yeah.
Can we hold out and not concede 2 or 3? And then we did. I mean, to be honest, let's face it, it could have been 5, 6 in my eyes.
Because you don't feel that we're going to score a goal right now. And that's the problem. We need a few games where we get multiple goals, and then you'll have more confidence in your team. That's how I look at it. But you didn't think that we were going to get a goal.
I don't even feel like we're going to create a goal scoring chance.
No.
I feel like we might get in a position to cross the ball and it'll get cleared, or we might have a shot from distance. But I don't feel, that we're going to ever get a clear-cut chance. It's like Stoke, we just made it look. We made it look so easy for Stoke at the weekend. They didn't have to get out of second gear or first gear at all.
Yeah.
We had 4 changes from the Cardiff game. Bree was starting, which I was really happy to see. Cornick came in, Clark and Craney for Hilton, Naismith, Pearson and Lockyer. Hilton and Naismith got a lot of criticism on Twitter after that Cardiff game. I don't know, Danny Hilton just didn't...
but I feel like that happens quite a lot. I don't know, people, there's always a thing with Luton fans sometimes scapegoating people, which I don't like, but I do get criticism. All right, sometimes they're not good enough, but sometimes they're not even that bad, and people still criticise. I think it's because they just, there's probably nothing else to talk about in the game. They've got to talk about something, so they've got to make something like, Hilton, Naismith. I mean, I said to you before, obviously, about Hilton. We mentioned him, we're not going to keep going over it, but like Nathan Jones said, maybe not agree with it, but if he had as much game time as Collins, he might have scored, the same amount of goals, or might have scored a few more. He probably would have done. But we can't keep using him as a scapegoat. That's not how we should be doing things.
I just think from Hilton's performance against Cardiff, I just feel sometimes his movement off the ball wasn't great, his decision making wasn't great, and wasn't up to Championship standard. And I know a lot of Luton fans do say this. I just feel like for Championship, thanks Danny, but you're just not up to it. But
at the same time, in his game time, we keep going over the same thing. There's no need to go over that. But
no, it's true. But then you've got to say how many more chances, how many more game times, how much more game time does he need?
But then what about Collins? He's missed a lot of sitters this season, mate, and yet again.
But that's the thing you could say about Collins is getting into them positions at least to miss the sitters. It seems at the moment Hilton's not even getting into positions to have chances.
But sometimes I feel like Collins isn't getting into them positions. He's not getting into them situations enough as a centre forward. But like we say, the only thing we can think of is because he does a lot of donkey work off the ball, vice versa. It's just certain balance of build-ups and whatever else. But I don't know. Maybe, Hilton might have got... I don't want to use him as a scapegoat, though. I don't want any Luton fan to use him as a scapegoat and sit there slating him, whatever else.
There wasn't one... It just wasn't one team member at the weekend, though, was it?
No, it was
everyone. So
yeah.
I think we could have done better against Cardiff. But on Saturday, it wasn't just one of the team; it was all of the team.
Well, back to the Stoke game. Producer Jake has put on notes here about Ray having a header. I think that was like our only half chance. I think it was from a corner shot, and I think Ray, he headed it over the bar, was it? Or into the keeper's hands. Not a big chance. And then...
It was over the bar, wasn't it?
I think so. And then Stoke's first, well, their goal was just terrible, wasn't it? It was just... It's just such a bad goal to concede. It's just such a terrible goal to concede. And look, Sonny's made an error, and then he was beaten too easily.
Right, I know obviously we're going to go on about this, right, Sonny Bradley thing, because I'll be honest, the other day I didn't reply in the group chat because you pissed me off, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to tell you outright. Because at the same time, you're sitting there slating Sonny Bradley, but you didn't slate Pelly for the shit ball in, and then for not staying on his feet afterwards.
I'm not going to lie, mate, I watched the full game up until seconds before that goal went in, because I had to leave the room for a second, and I come back and we're 1-0 down, and all I saw in the replay was Sonny miscontrolling and then getting turned easily. But
it's just in the whole fucking build up to the goal then, it was terrible.
Yeah,
mate,
but
Sonny stuck there in his own half by himself. All right, he should have probably cleared the first one, but the second one, all right, was it a 2 or 3 on 1? He slipped.
Yeah, it's unlucky, isn't it?
It's unlucky when you slip over, but the initial beginning of that was a misplaced pass.
Yeah, it was everything about it. Just everything about it. It was everyone, mate. It was the tracking back. I mean, don't get it wrong. You can't just blame one individual for that. You really can't. People might say, "Oh, you're being biased." No, I'm not. At the same time, I mean, there was, like I said, the ball in the box, the covering back, the initial sort of like, trying to stay on your feet and sliding in to make it look good. That's not good enough. You can make it look good, but it's not good enough.
It was too easy, wasn't it?
All round, yeah.
It was too easy. Far too easy.
Andy Burgess, who's a Luton fan, used to play for Luton actually, didn't he? He did some excellent analysis on some of the goals from the weekend, and he did do this analysis on this goal. And I found it really interesting, and it was just pointing out stuff like maybe Sonny could have held the line instead of running back. Maybe he could have closed down the player who played that original through ball a bit quicker. Maybe he should have cleared it. Maybe he should have showed him down the line. And it is just showing like simple, basic errors though that we could be dealing with, of just literally simple things like showing a player like, I know Sonny slips, but could you not take him a bit wider and not let him get inside? It's just little things like that, isn't it? Which seems to be costing us at the moment. And in that Cardiff game, if we get out to Wilson a bit quicker, he doesn't score that long ranger. And it's just one of them things where, at the moment, I feel like we're not doing the basics correctly, and it's costing us really poor goals, really silly goals to concede in the Championship.
Yeah, it's true. Of course it is. That's the thing in the Championship. You can't give, the extra sort of second or two that you get on the ball in League One. You don't get that in the Championship. Or off the ball, should I say, and closing down. I mean, that strike from Wilson, I'll be honest, I stood up straight away and went, fair play, what a fucking finish. Because that was, for me, you couldn't really do anything about that. Maybe, like you say, close down a bit quicker, but, we can go through every single goal. But, it doesn't always happen like that. And the same as Stoke on Saturday. I mean, that first goal was it was a sham, wasn't it, all round. It was. I try to forget it. I'm trying to raise it out of my mind. I don't want to think about it.
You can't forget it. It was just very, very poor all around. And as soon as it goes in, your heart sinks because you know that we're not going to get back in it. You just know because it was just so bad.
Well, if you're trying to forget it, sorry, you've got to wait another 7 minutes because we've got to talk about the second half. The second half started pretty much the same as the first, didn't it? Didn't really get into it at all. Stoke were passing the ball around, dominating possession. Even producer Jacobs put in notes here. We just seemed to lay down and take everything, which is what you said at the start. We just didn't seem to.
There we go.
It was just nothing going on with it. Every pass seemed to be misplaced. Just attacking wise, nothing. And then we go 2-0 down. And again, you could just see this is equally as bad as that first goal. Bree gives the ball away. And again, Andy Burgess done some excellent analysis on this, and he's saying like Potts could maybe close down quicker and make him pass it backwards instead of giving him that space to turn and pass it out to the wing. And then this cross comes in, and Bree just has no idea what he's doing. He doesn't
look like he knows where he is. He doesn't look like he's going to challenge for the ball. He makes no effort.
And then he had the audacity to fucking claim it was foul, didn't he, as well?
Well, he wasn't, was he? He was just not on the game. He wasn't on the game, and it's not what you want to see from a defender in that position.
What do you reckon that mistake comes down to from James Bree? Is it just Power wanted it more than him. Does Bree need to go and attack that ball? He needs to be.
I just think he had no vision of what was around him. He had no clue what was going on. There was no communication between the back four, between him, between Sluga. Do you know what I mean? There was nothing. Just absolute shite. And when the ball goes in the box and you don't clear the ball like that, sorry, you don't clear the ball and you get beaten like that, then
it was an embarrassing. It was embarrassing the way it was so easy to beat him. Though it was embarrassing. You know, it wasn't even like he was unlucky. It was like he was never going to get it ever.
He just sort of stood there. I think he gave one of these ones like say, "I'm going to head the ball" kind of thing. But
yeah.
And then before you know it, it's been put in the top corner, and he's sitting there going, "Oh, hang on a minute, what's going on?" No, mate, you fucking take responsibility. You sort it out.
Yeah, be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of that player that might run in. No, it was just so poor. Schoolboy errors, really, for me. Schoolboy errors.
No responsibility. That's what I'd put it down to in that whole game. No responsibility whatsoever. No leadership. Nothing.
So Nathan Jones makes his first change. Morel coming on. We saw a bit of him at the weekend. I didn't even realise he came on, to be honest with you. But with how poor Ray's been recently, would you say surely Morel's got to get a chance now?
He should be in there anyway, mate.
Ray made so many mistakes on the weekend. Mm-hmm. So many. And it's disappointing. You can have a moan about players. Players have off days, right? They have off games. I'd like to see him have a go. But, you know, there's been times when Ray's been brilliant. So why can't he be brilliant again? That's how I'd look at it. It's just disappointing. His performance on Saturday was terrible.
You say, why can't he be brilliant again? Because he's been poor in the last 2 or 3 games. Yeah. Having one...
I don't know. Hang on a minute. I swear there was a game in the last 2 or 3 that he was top notch as well. He kept cutting everything out. I'm sure. Was it at Birmingham?
Potentially. I just think...
He was phenomenal in one of the games, in all fairness. He did all the donkey work, the basics. I loved it. But
against Stoke, he, in that first half, did a pass. Luton were doing a really nice passing move out from the back, and I think he played it behind Potts on the left-hand side, and it was the most basic pass in front of him, and he's passed it behind him out for a throw. And I just thought, that just sums up Glenn Ray at the moment. He's just not going for him. He just seems to be making basic errors as well, to be honest with you.
But I'd say that's a one-off in all fairness, though, from Glenn Ray, because you know what you get from him week in, week out. It's clearly not that.
Is he good enough for Championship, Glenn Ray?
Yeah, of course he is. I think he's good enough. Of course he is. I don't even think you could question that, really.
Whether he is or there isn't, it's all we've got. You know, there's no time to change it anymore.
Well, we've got Morel.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, well,
I think Ray's good enough. Honestly, he's good enough. I can't believe we're having this conversation, to be honest.
All right, we'll move on to the third goal. It was a mix-up between Craney and Ray. Klukas went for on goal, similar start to that first. Little pass to Fletcher, tap in. So easy, and just summed up a terrible away day. And this is what Nathan Jones had to say after the game.
I'm bitterly disappointed. I thought we were inept in every single department today. We lost every single individual battle. We showed no fight, no spirit, no desire to win a game. It's come out of absolutely nowhere. And I said I'm not so much embarrassed. I'm just really shocked by the ineptitude of the performance. Weak in terms of not weak physically, but weak in their desire to do well. And I'm really surprised and bitterly disappointed. You know what I mean? Well, we haven't done the basics right in both games. You know, really haven't done the basics right. If we don't do the basics right, then we're in trouble.
And it's like I said earlier, I feel like at the moment we're not doing the basics right, and they are leading to silly goals. Yeah. And I think that's just the case again at the weekend. It's
the word inept come up so many times in that. Inept, not capable of doing things. Poor performance all around. And Morel came on, he was okay. I mean, given the amount of times he was on, he was better. But the rest of the team, maybe Tunnicliffe did okay when he came on. I don't think you can blame the goalkeeper too much. I don't think he had much protection, but the rest of the team, inept.
Do you think at the moment with Luton fans, it seems like if you criticise a team too much, you get a group of Luton fans saying, you know, like, be grateful of where we are. It just feels like at the moment we're on a fine line between what we're allowed to accept and what we're allowed to have a little moan at. Because some Luton fans will say, well, what do you expect? You know, we're a League One side still, and we're fighting for Championship stuff.
And we're not a League One side. That's the first thing. We're not, and you've got to stop referring back to that now. Start looking forward. We're a Championship club. We need maybe to strengthen, but I agree with you, Luke. That there are a few people that just look for excuses to moan back. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, what's the biggest saying as well when we got back up to the Championship? We're back to where we belong. So whoever says that we're a League One club needs their fucking head screwed on.
I think
honestly, it's ridiculous. We're back where we belong. We're a Championship club, and we're proving that. We're still there. We're still fighting. Well, last couple of weeks maybe not, but look, we will.
I think I genuinely think it's a frustration because we all want the team to do well. I think it's a frustration with some fans, and fans obviously think we're better than we are. Others think we're not. Personally, I think we're at our level right now. A couple more wins and we'll be all right.
I'll be honest, I'm guilty of it sometimes. We go on a little good run or whatever, and you get a couple of good results, you play some amazing football, and you're not losing much, and you start thinking, shit, maybe we're better than what we are. I'll be honest, like I said, I'm guilty of that. I think we're better than what we are sometimes. And then these couple of results, the shit results that we get, puts you back down to earth, back down to reality in a way.
Yeah.
And then you start to think, the last couple of weeks, last couple of weeks, whenever, not getting the results we should be getting, maybe against Huddersfield and whatever else, makes you think, all right, we could be a few points better off, but we need, as a club, not we, but the team, the club, obviously we just pay money, we're fans or whatever, to go and watch them, when we could. But we all need to sort of look at it and go, end of the season, we could be moaning about it now. At the end of the season, if it's bad and we get relegated, then you can have a little moan about it. But if we stay up and, even if it's a couple of points in it, we stay up and we're good for it, you can sit there going, oh, maybe next season we need to improve on this, we need to improve on that. And we will get the extra points and maybe push us up maybe towards top half of the table or whatever. But until then, you've got to keep looking at it game by game, and that's all we can do.
I just wonder if it's some of the older fan group, like my age group, that moan a lot because we experienced that time. Teams, Little Luton, teams like Luton, all that sort of stuff. We had some good times. We were punching above our weight for a while. And then, you get back to where you want to be and you want to be like you were back then.
I just feel at the moment, a lot of fans, especially me, I get very frustrated when, like we've said many times today already, when you just roll over and just take the worst possible goals. I think if Luton went out every single week and gave 100% and it was like they did the basics correctly and you lost 1-0 or you lost 2-0 to two bits of quality from a player that you just look at and go, we couldn't have stopped that. That's how I felt against Chelsea away in the Cup. When Abraham scores that third goal and you look at the passing move and then you look at the players that have done it and you think, fair play, we couldn't have done anything to stop that. But when you're conceding the 3 goals we conceded on Saturday, I just think, come on, we can do better than that. No matter what type of players you have, if you can't do them basics better, that's the most frustrating thing for me, I think.
Yeah, no, like Greg, of course. I'm pretty sure every single person agrees with that. But it's very rare that actually happens, though, that we lose in the manner we did against Stoke. All right, it might have happened more recently than it did at the beginning of the season. Maybe that's expectations, but no, you're right. Roll over and die attitude was shocking, and it happened on Saturday. But I can't think of too many times this season that's happened. I really can't. For me, I don't know about for you boys. I don't know. Obviously, you'd like to enlighten me, but I don't think it happens that often anymore. It might have happened in the past.
I feel like it's not happened as much as
last season.
Good performance all last season. Like we've had some good performances this season. I'd say 100%.
That warrant points as well.
Yeah. With Lockyer and Pearson now out with injury, who do you think is who gets into our strongest back four?
Wow.
Well, Bradley straight away at the centre back.
Bradley and Potts, you got to say, on that left side straight away.
See, I'd play a back 3 personally, but I'd still play Craney at the centre back. And obviously, you don't. Sometimes, Grace, you like to have a little moan about him as well.
What, Craney? Well, producer Jacob put out a tweet the other day about Craney running and him being like a grandpa. Does it not just? Do you just not think Craney just slows us down massively? Do you think that's a bit harsh?
I think it's a bit harsh.
Someone did call us out and say he's been one of our best defenders this season. I think
he's
disagree.
A very good defender. Very good. I think he's experienced. He knows what he's doing. I don't think he puts a foot wrong sometimes. I think sometimes, he might take certain, amounts of time to play off a pass, but maybe he's not getting movement around him at the same time. Because you see that quite a lot this season. But no, for me, I think it's a bit harsh on Craney. I think he's a very good player. And I still think he'll do a good job for us. Whether he gets into our back three or not, you never know. What's that little smile for, Dave? I see you smirking there.
No, I just read something. Sorry.
Oh, right, that's all right. I was going to try and mug me off. I was like, let's go then.
No. I agree with what you're saying, totally.
And with the issues at the moment, would you say it's more attacking than defensive?
We're not scoring. You can't win a game if you don't bloody score goals, do you?
It's the chance creation, isn't it?
Yeah, we're not creating too much.
Maybe it's that transition.
I think in some games the back four have been really good and unlucky, and then we've lost because of that. However, when you're not scoring goals, you're never going to win a game. Easy, isn't it?
It's same old though, isn't it? Because Collins has that header against Cardiff in that first half of that far post where he heads into the ground, and you think if that goes in, it's a different game again. And we've said that so many times this season. If we could have just scored that chance, it's a different game, and we're not doing it.
It's frustrating. That's what it is. It's frustrating. If he'd scored the goal against the guys down the road there, we could have won that game. So I agree with you. So you can't lay all the blame on the defence. You know, because the thing is, if we are 1 up or 2 up, then they have to push forward. You get more space. You create more goals. Simple.
Unless you're us and you sit back and try and defend a 1-0.
Yeah,
it's almost like a game of chess with us, isn't it? Really, I mean, we sit there, don't take risks early on. I mean, even Nathan Jones has said it himself. Don't take risks sometimes, try and do the basics, try and hold out till certain times in the game, blah, blah, blah. But, we can do that and we might leak a shitty goal. That makes no difference then after that because there's nothing after that we can do. There's no plan B in my eyes. And I've never really seen a plan B.
Yeah.
I'd agree. This is what you guys said about our back four and what the issue is at the moment. Dan says the issue is not scoring enough goals. So if we concede 1 goal, we almost give up on the 3 points. Also, we're having to defend a lot too because we don't maintain attack/possession or hold the ball up front for very long. The whole back 4 or 5 are exceeding expectations.
Can I also just say something, right? Obviously, going back to, I say going back, but with the whole thing of what was we known as under Nathan Jones when he first came to Luton. Obviously, I know it's different leagues or whatever else, but we were known as a fluid sort of attacking team, weren't we? Attacking team. We were scoring goals, taking risks high at the pitch, whatever else. We're not doing that anymore. Why?
Do you feel it helps having attacking fullbacks? I think when you've got Craney and Potts on your fullbacks, or even sometimes Pearson on fullback, I think Nathan really wants. If we could have had, say, Kioso and Norrington Davis the whole season, or Bree and Norrington Davis the whole season.
Technically, we still got Kioso. We wanted him back.
Yeah.
So it's up to Mr. Jones himself, then, isn't it, in that aspect? But I mean, look, we're always known as an attacking team, playing good football, going forward, pressing up, and whatever else. Well, we're not doing it now. It's almost like we're trying to hold out for a point and then to try and sort of nick an odd goal in here.
Nick them on the break.
Sorry, here and there.
Yeah, I get you.
And we're not doing it. And the thing is, I can't understand it sometimes. It just baffles me. It confuses me. I don't know why. I don't know about you, but you might not agree with this, but I just think sometimes what the fuck is he thinking?
Yeah.
Just press forward. I'd rather us lose and, play high attacking football, whatever. Let's face it. Like I said to you the other day about Barnsley. I said it however long I've been saying it about Barnsley.
Barnsley are class, mate. You said that you did call that at the start of the season.
Like I said to you the other day when you said about Barnsley, how are they so good? I said, I told you this. And look at how they play. They play with no fear. They don't care. They take risks. We don't. Not enough.
It's a good point. Because at the Barnsley, stayed up because of Wigan's point deduction at the end of last season. And they've come on this season and they're now a couple of points off the playoffs with a game in hand, I believe.
Yeah.
They're absolutely smashing it.
You watch them, honestly. Next time they're on Sky or whatever, you watch them. They're a class team. Very, very good.
Back to what you guys were saying then about the back four and what the issue is. Andy says the issue is not only scoring, but creating. Back four at the moment, there's not a lot of chances. Shame Kioso could not be brought back, so we could at least push Potts into centre half. Brandon says, I'm not sure that you can class this as strong, but his back four would be Potts, Bradley, Craney and Bree, which I think was pretty much what you said, Patara. Oliver says Potts, Bradley, Craney and Bree as well, but with Morel in front of them rather than Ray.
Let's not be too harsh on Ray again. But yeah, look, I want to see more of Morel. I love, obviously, like I said to you before, I love Morel. We've had this conversation many times. Why is he not even in the squad half the time? Yeah, again, that baffles me.
Yeah.
I'll be very surprised if Morel doesn't start against Millwall.
He must be sitting there thinking, what else have I got to do? If he's looking at Ray's recent performances, Morel's a Welsh international. He's, and a good Welsh international. I think he's getting like man of the match awards last time.
Yeah, mate, he's class. Watch him. I mean, look. I mean, how many times, like you say, he's not been in the squad, but was his last start against Millwall on TV, actually, thinking about it?
Yeah, it might have been.
I
remember that. He started that game, didn't he? I'm pretty sure.
Or Sheffield Wednesday or something. But
yeah, either way. But why isn't he there? Ridiculous. You bring in a player that quality, and he has got quality as well. He's more mobile than most of that midfield as well.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that for fucking nothing. It's pretty obvious. But look.
Well, the midfield wasn't mobile at all at the weekend, was it? So,
Nah.
You just want something more. I mean, disappointing.
Will Z, he says, I reckon Bataro should put his kit on and sort it out.
Yeah, good one. I can't even fucking run anymore.
You're CDM, Bataro?
Mate. Yeah, well, yeah. CDM.
Here's one for you then, Bataro. If you got your kit on and was started by Nathan Jones, what could Luton fans expect from you? What type of player would you be?
Bit of an arsehole, probably.
Yeah,
love it.
Give it that.
Yeah, hard working.
Hard,
bit like a collar. Run your socks off.
Well, if I could, yeah. I mean, my muscles never been the best of things. You know what I mean? I always get cramped up and pull and whatever else. But I'd give it a go for a good 50, 60 minutes.
Hey, and you'd have the attitude of the Mickey Harford when he walked through those Watford players. Definitely.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
But look, it's just I just feel we need a bit more commitment sometimes, a bit more passion. But yeah, Kevin Nichols, mate, get him back out of time. And
yeah, do you know what? I agree with that. We have someone that passionate right now? That Nichols. You just want that showing when they're playing. Like Luke said earlier, if we're getting beat 1 or 2-0 by the amazing goals, fine. When your team don't put a shift in, you just get really, really frustrated with them. Really frustrated.
Well,
that's what you want.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. Let's get into some Twitter questions and some Instagram questions today. James says, "Was this poor form inevitable? First half of the season, we won more, even when not looking that great. This second half of the season does seem to be a bit like if we're performing bad, we're not picking up the points."
I don't think inevitable is the right word.
I guess you could say not every Luton fan thought we're going to go and win every single game or not lose again. I do think you got to be realistic. We look at that fixture list and you do pick out games you think it's going to be a tough one. But you maybe would have said from Cardiff, you would have probably said Cardiff at home has the potential to be a winnable tie. Huddersfield at home, you could say winnable. But you're not going to win every game at home either. It's tough, isn't it?
I sort of agree and disagree in that sort of way because I look at the fixture list and I go, oh, God, we've got to play these next week. Oh, God, we've got to play... Oh, look at that. We've got this team coming up. And no game is easy in this division. None. I don't care how bad they've been.
We've got a bit of a difficult run, though, haven't we? So after this week, Millwall and Sheffield Wednesday, I think we've got like Norwich and another team.
Yes, but we don't expect to win it. At this moment in time, given where Norwich are, you don't expect to win there. So then you need to win the two leading up to that.
Although we have beaten twice this season, Dave. So
yeah, I agree. I understand that, but what are they 6 points clear, 5 points clear at the top?
If you would have said we'd score 6 goals against Norwich this season in 2 games, you'd just been like, no.
Yeah,
it's just mad, isn't it? How it's worked this season. You'd think beating Bournemouth away as well. Matt says, do you think Nombe or Adebayo deserve a chance with Collins underperforming? I don't even know how to say his name anymore. It's been that long since he's been on the pitch. He's just not been in and around the squad recently.
Nah, it's confused. That's another one that baffles me as well. He's probably the most mobile forward we've got. He doesn't even get any game time. It's ridiculous.
Do you reckon that's a bit of a panic signing from the club?
Well, I don't know. Would we, put it down to a panic signing? Mick Arthur and Nathan Jones? I don't know about panic signing. When have they redone that? But like I say, it's one for the future. But
exactly that. They're looking to develop the team, and they see something in these guys that can push us forward. Do they need a start? It would be nice to see him have a go. I think
Nombe definitely needs a start. Why not? I think he's a quality player, to be honest.
Well,
if we don't get an option up to sign him, then I'll be pretty upset as well.
I'll keep you updated because on Wednesday, I'm covering Brentford B. They're playing a Luton 11 on Wednesday at midday. So I'll keep an eye out. I'll see if Nombi gets a start. I'll see if Adebayo gets a start. You never know. Hilton might get one.
Yeah.
We'll have a look. But I'll keep you guys updated on that. Tom says, why do you think Morel's not starting? I have no idea. I don't think anyone has any idea.
Probably shag Nathan Jones' wife. I say you never know.
Don't say
There you
that.
go.
A Welsh contingent.
How can
No,
you
you never know, do you? But I don't know, man. It's something's got to be going on there because it's ridiculous.
He'll be starting Tuesday or Wednesday. When are we playing Tuesday?
I really doubt he will be starting.
I
Dave,
reckon it's
but
gonna-
how many times have we said, "Oh, Morel surely
Yeah.
be in next week's squad," and he hasn't been in the
Never
squad
is.
for 3-4 weeks at a time? It's ridiculous.
Well, I think.
What is the point?
All right. Well, I'm going to put myself out there and say he's going to start. Hopefully, Millwall.
And finally today, Joe says, your thoughts about the Boris announcement and the possible return of fans in May. Obviously, we did touch on it very briefly at the
It's after
start.
the season finishes, though, isn't it?
Just after the season finishes, unless we
Playoffs.
somehow make the playoffs and we can have like 10k at Wembley for the final. But in all seriousness, like it's been a tough year for everyone, hasn't it? It's this year of COVID has been horrendous for a lot of people, and I think we've all done well to get through it. But Tara, you've been to Luton twice, I think, since fans were allowed back in.
Once, mate. Just the Norwich game.
And Dave, you didn't even get in.
Oh, shut
And
up.
I'm sure there's a lot of Luton fans out there.
I had a ticket for the game.
Who didn't get in also.
And then didn't get in. But you know what? I'm still supporting them. I still paid my season ticket. I'll be on the Legend shirt next season, probably with my name under my armpit or somewhere like that. But it's not, for me, well, for me personally, I mean, it's all about being safe, isn't it? I've been vaccinated. I'm quite happy. And I'm hoping that next season we have no issues. We can get in there from game one. And I know that you're going to have some work problems with football, but I know me and Bataro are going to go to as many as we can.
100%, mate. 100%. Every single one that I can afford or is possible, then it's happening.
And also the ones that you can drive to without getting too drunk.
Yeah, stay overnight, Dave. You can spoon me. It's all right, mate. Actually, that's a bit weird. I'll take that back.
I think we are coming up to a year, aren't we, since that last home game with a full house at Kenilworth Road, that Stoke 1-1 draw when Collins scored that last-minute penalty. No one knew that was going to be the last game as a full house at Kenilworth Road for a whole year.
I just can't wait to go back.
It's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, isn't it, for everyone, for every football fan who looks at Saturdays with Luton as a bit of an escape from life every week. Because it is, for a lot of people, people look forward to that Saturday. And for me, I just think to know that we can all look at June the 21st and potentially that season starting in August, hopefully as a championship club, let's forget what happens this season. If we go down, we go down. If we stay up, we stay up. But just to have a full house in August, I think for everyone would just be unreal.
Everybody be healthy. And you know what? Even just lifting those restrictions slightly where, Batara and I can watch the game in the same place.
Yeah.
And
Don't forget
you.
me.
Well, sometimes you're at work though, so.
Yeah, but don't forget me.
I won't. Well, who's he? Anyway.
Yeah, it's fine.
But I can't wait, and I can't. You can't. The atmosphere is going to be immense when we go back. It's going to be like a cup final.
Do you remember all the chants, guys? Yeah. Not going to make you do them now, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
We'll go through them next week or so.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. That's pretty much all we've got time for today. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching.
Cheers.
If you need to go and check us out on YouTube, well, you need to go check us out, so I'm telling you. YouTube, Owen the Town.
and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. And rate us 5 stars on iTunes. We haven't done that for a while. Big game against Millwall coming up tonight. Hopefully we get a win. We haven't even spoke about Millwall, but it's a big game. And then another big one at the weekend as well. They're all big at the moment.
They certainly are. Hey, lads, can you imagine as well when we get back to football?
Sorry, just the way you said that.
I need to say so. Imagine we get back to football where it was like a caged animal fucking let out. Like, yeah, fucking what? Everyone tries to fight each other.
Oh, you'd love that, mate, wouldn't you? You'd love that.
No, of course I wouldn't. Mate, it's peace and love around here, mate.
Peace and love. That's all Batara offers you. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching. And we shall see you next week.